Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about 1,000-Pound Sisters, Season 5, Episode 5.
Listen here, I need y'all to subscribe. I need y'all to like. I need y'all to share. I need y'all to comment because we are doing a good job sharing these reviews, but I feel like we're talking to ourselves. I want to talk to y'all.
Yeah.
You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Walk us through this.
Amy and Chris are heading to Amy's first court date for the divorce.
Yeah.
And she is a little bit upset for a couple of reasons.
Why?
One, she doesn't know what to expect.
That's fair.
And two, she would have wanted Michael to fight for her, but ultimately the divorce is the best option for her and the boys.
Now stop there, Blair. Let's just say in our early marriage, right? Mm-hmm. I treat you bad. Mm-hmm. I'm not there for you. Matter of fact, I'm not even there for your seed.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And you know what? You leave. Mm-hmm. You decide, you know what? I'm leaving. I'm taking the kids. I'm done. Mm-hmm. Right? And when you go to file for divorce officially, you find out that I was the one that filed for divorce first. Would that hurt you?
I don't know if that would hurt me, but it would kind of be like a little bit of a gut punch. Like, it's just by the fact of you have no reason to be filing. You know, everything was easy breezy for you. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't expect you to file. But I don't know. I'm never in that position. Not never, but I'm not in that position. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how I would feel in it. But ultimately, I wouldn't feel like how Amy feels, I don't think, about, why wouldn't you fight for me? Okay. Because it doesn't seem like he's fought for anything. He'd be chilling.
Much his own life even. Yes.
So I'm like, I think this is pretty on par.
Yeah, this is on par with Mike. Keep going.
Well, Amanda meets them there. Uh-huh. And Amanda divorced Michael's brother, Jason, a year ago. And she wanted to be there to support Amy.
Did y'all know that? I was watching this and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's been like known before, but it had like drifted off of my mind. Oh, and when she said it, I was just like, oh yeah.
I was like, that's why she felt comfortable getting in her brother-in-law face.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Keep going.
And Amy does want joint custody so the boys can still have some type of relationship with their father.
Yeah, and like I think at the moment they was talking about how there was some type of I think he was having supervised custody or something like that.
Yeah, on the weekends.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing about it, which is interesting, is Amy was alluding, or not even alluding, even saying out loud that Michael don't want the kids. Mm-hmm. Michael don't want to take care of the kids. Yeah. And things like that. Like, of course he wants some type of joint custody, because if he was to fight for full custody, that's something that he wouldn't even want. Right. Because he wasn't a willing participant when we was together, married in the same household. Now to make it harder to where it's two different households and things like that, Michael don't want that.
Yeah. Amy even said that if it comes down to somebody watching the kids, it's either me or his mom.
Wow. Mm-hmm. But you married this guy.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Well, they go in, they have the court situation. Mm-hmm. 2 hours later, they come out, and they both had to testify on what they do for the kids. Uh-oh. Michael said a lot of things, basically summing up to the fact that he does as much as Amy.
Listen here, guys. What Blair does, I do too. Mm-hmm. That's basically what Michael was saying.
And he is trying to get 50-50 custody.
Wow.
All three of them, Amy, Amanda, and Chris, thought that was ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Amy's thinking maybe 70-30 in favor of me. Mm-hmm. Chris is saying 90% of what he said was pretty much a lie. Wow. And they'll have to go to court again in a month.
Listen here, what did you think about that so far, Blair?
I really didn't have too much to think about it. Mm-hmm. I figured he'd come out lying because when the police came to get Amy's like debit card and stuff like that from him, he was like, I already gave it to her. I don't even know why they called y'all. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, yeah, he's one of those.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Amy was talking about, just to go to some smaller details, was talking about how she said she didn't even look over there at him and things like that. Chris was asking about how you think you're going to feel, or how did you feel seeing him for the first time since everything has erupted and things like that. She said, honestly, I didn't even look at him. But just the look on their faces as they was explaining, that Michael says that he basically do the same thing that Amy does. Mm-hmm. But just a couple episodes ago, she couldn't even go to Sam's Club.
No.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. She couldn't even go to Sam's Club with and have him watch the boys and have them watch the kids because you heard him yelling out loud, it's too much. Mm-hmm. That's what he said. Yeah. So this just shows that whenever it get into divorce, when you get married, have something in writing. Because when it gets into divorce, that's when people just do things out of spite. So far, based on the little information that we have, Michael is just doing the bare minimum
Yeah.
And basically like, hey, yeah, Your Honor, yeah, I do the same thing Amy does. Well, what do you do? The same thing Amy does. You know what
I mean, he was talking about giving them baths. Amy was so mad. She said he don't even know how the babies like they bath water. So
continue.
Moving on, we are with Tammy, and she tells us that having the babies and Amy around helps her with missing Caleb.
Oh, please stop this.
They're even spending more time together, bonding and creating their YouTube videos like they did in the past. And today they're making garlic scented candles, which I thought was disgusting.
I'm about to say, okay, this is new.
But as long as it's, something for them to bond over.
Yeah.
But Tammy's mobility has drastically improved. She feels great. She has a lot of energy. And she and Caleb have talked about having children at this point now.
Stop. Listen here. I'm all happy for your progression in your health, Tammy. Blair's probably more happier than me because she actually seen it from season 1 and things like that. I'm like, this is the only Tammy I know, the one's able to walk. The Tammy that couldn't walk, wasn't mobile, wasn't healthy, was mean and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But now, Tammy, we are both new to this side of Tammy in a sense of having children. I'm not trying to be mean.
Okay.
But I will say, in the past, this is, I think, episode 5 that we are reviewing. In the past 4 episodes, I have been screaming from the mountaintop by myself, right? That, hey, maybe we should focus on your health. You get what I'm saying? And not put other burdens. Children are not burdens. Children are blessings.
But responsibilities.
But exactly, your responsibility. Do you know how some people like to be selfish in opportunities that they shouldn't be selfish? This is an opportunity right here where Tammy should be 101% selfish.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying, Blair?
Yeah.
Continue.
Well, Tammy and Caleb are together on FaceTime.
Okay.
Caleb is still struggling with his diet. Caleb was actually in the hospital 6 days ago, and he never told Tammy that. He eventually tells her on the FaceTime.
Yeah.
And at this point now, she's wondering, well, what else is he hiding? He keeps saying that he loves her, but she feels like they don't really have deep conversations. And she wants to see him to motivate him to help get him back on track. So she's going to ask Chris if he can take her down to see her husband.
Hey, baby, are you really willing to do that for me? You willing to come down for me? What is your opinion on Caleb so far, based on the information that we have in 5 episodes so far, Mrs. Wesley?
Caleb, I feel like he's just all talk. Like, he's just all about, I love you, you're beautiful, you're great, you're this, you're that. But he doesn't seem to me like a man of motivation. And not, I mean, one, of course, for himself and his health, but even outside of that, like, it just doesn't seem like he has any plans on getting to Tammy, talking about what he's doing on a daily or weekly basis. Like, I'm just saying, he just doesn't seem very structured in his thinking at all. The only thing he's saying is, I'm going to get better and I'm going to get home to you. But it just doesn't seem like he's really making any steps, is what it feels like. It feels all talk.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Caleb, right? And in just this relationship structure in itself, usually whenever somebody says, I feel like you're hiding something, right? It can be something across the lines of infidelity. Yeah. It can be something across the lines of, you're lying to me about something that is outside of your weight, outside of your health.
Finances, maybe.
Something, exactly.
Your career.
Being on TLC, and I think this is probably our first time reviewing a TLC show. Well, actually, no, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah. Right? But reviewing this show, she is strictly talking about his weight, his health, that I do feel like he's hiding something too. Because I'm like, Caleb, if you really cared about seeing Tammy, first of all, let me move back just a second. The motivation can't be external. Right. It can't be a person that motivates you to get well. You get what I'm saying? I'm sure that was probably your motivation 100 pounds ago, maybe 200 pounds ago. But something, you got yourself in this position. Now you have to get yourself out of this position and to basically this is why I want Tammy to get married, to put that responsibility and burden on Tammy to not only get married, but remember, Tammy got released from this rehab. Now she has to go back physically to the place that she worked so hard to get out of to see you. Yeah. Dude, you get what I'm saying?
To try to motivate you, to get you to do what you're supposed to be doing.
While I'm still not completely healthy.
Exactly.
You
Well,
get what I'm saying?
Still trying to get to be 100%.
Am I preaching?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll put my Cash App in the description below. Continue.
Well, Chris, he bought a chicken coop.
Hello.
Because his family eats a lot of eggs and egg prices are going up.
Okay.
And he also likes barbecue chicken.
Okay.
Misty comes by, says that this is a rabbit hut. This is not a chicken coop.
Hey.
But he said, hey, whatever. They're going to go in it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking to Missy a little bit. She's feeling good after the surgery. She was able to get off her insulin. And we see that the chickens are delivered. Yeah. They have the people just release the chickens because they want to try to wrangle them themselves, which they end up doing after a little bit of a tussle. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They end up talking about Tammy. They end up talking about Amy, and she gets overwhelmed a lot. And overall, divorce isn't easy.
It's not.
So they're worried about her and hoping that she can get through it.
Listen here, I think you got me messing up. I think Amy needs more than hope. Yeah, she needs structure. She needs a plan. Yeah, she's not fully healthy herself, and now it's to the point where she's mentally not even there to get herself to jumpstart herself. Blair talked about depression that she may be going through a couple episodes ago, I think it was, to where you like maybe she needs medicine just to get her to zero. Yeah. Because she may be so far behind that she can't see the forest for the trees, basically, to paraphrase what you were saying.
She can't even try to start pulling herself out of it.
And I think that's where she's at right now. I think she needs to be medicated. Mind you, I am not a doctor. I don't even play one on the review shows. Right. But she's so far behind that she can't even motivate herself to get herself on the right track. Right. Because she's so far off the path. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. Tammy and Amy, they go to see an OBGYN.
Oh my goodness.
And Tammy last saw an OBGYN in 2011.
Now help me understand what that means, because I don't go to an OBGYN, right? Is that bad?
That is bad. You should see an OBGYN, and it differs for different people, but let's say every 1 to 2 to 3 years. Okay. For like your pap smear check, you want to make sure you're doing screenings for like cervical cancer and stuff like that, and also if you're sexually active, making sure that you're not having any type of like sexually transmitted diseases and things of that sort.
Now during that time, she wasn't sexually active.
Well, we don't know. Well, I don't know. She could have been.
I'm talking about based on what we seen on the show.
She had a lot of parties at her house.
Okay.
I don't know what she was doing at all them parties. Blair. I know she was drinking. Okay. What else was she doing? I don't know. She had boyfriends in the past.
Okay, she was sexually active. Okay, let's say that, right? Okay. She was sexually active. Let's put that on there.
She had an IUD in place.
Right? So she probably was doing something during the times and things of that nature, right? So just to be clear, you should not only see an OBGYN if you want to have questions about, can I get pregnant?
Right. Okay. It's like a checkup, like you go get a physical. Okay. Like you should make sure things are working properly, throughout the year or every 1 to 3 years.
Yeah, and I think in the scene, the doctor even questions Tammy, like, what took you so long to come see me since 2011? You get what I'm saying?
Right. The doctor was thinking maybe she had a bad experience with, and some people do have bad experiences with OBGYNs and doctors and things like that, where it just turns them off completely. But she said, no, for me, I was just too big. Yeah. And I really wasn't leaving my house to go anywhere unless like I had to, like it was an emergency. And so the doctor has her weigh in. Yeah. And she weighs in at 374.6.
Congratulations.
Which is great, because at the last office visit with the other doctor, she weighed in at 420.
I think with Dr. Smith was his name.
Dr. Smith. Yeah. I always think of Dr. Now, but Dr. Now isn't their doctor.
Dr. Smith. You said doctors, you said 420 was the last time.
Yeah.
Okay. Bad. Congrats, Tammy.
Exactly. And the doctor asked Amy, you haven't weighed before, in a while. Did you want to weigh yourself? And Amy's like, nah.
I thought that was weird. Even though this is Amy's doctor. Yeah. Because I think Amy was like, hey, you should see my doctor and things like that. I feel like, hey, Tammy's your patient.
Yeah. But I would say I don't mind her asking Amy to weigh in, because I'm sure that's probably something that they've talked about in her appointments. Oh, okay. Making sure that she's staying on the right path. And, I don't mind her asking. But I do think that she pushed it a little bit because she was like, "Why you don't want to?"
Oh, the doctor pushed it just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
fair.
but I agree. Like in normal circumstances, if it's this person's appointment, you don't be asking the person that came with them to step on the scale. But the way that they do their doctor's visits, it seems like the doctors be asking them, "And how are you? And how are you?" And stuff like that.
Okay.
So I don't know.
That's fair.
But yeah, Amy says that she don't want to weigh herself. Mm-hmm. Well, Tammy has had an IUD in place for 12 years.
Wow.
And if she's pregnant with an IUD that's not effective, IUDs are only effective for a certain number of years.
Yeah.
And if you're pregnant with one that's not effective, it could cause some issues with pregnancy, fetal death, all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. So she wants to get the IUD out. The doctor does. And Tammy said that there's a chance that she might be pregnant now because she's been craving different things like water.
Listen here. She said she never. Tammy, let me tell you something for a second.
Well, can I tell you what Amy said?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Because what I'm going to say is probably going to be funny anyway. All right. Tammy, you never been this healthy before. Mm-hmm. To the point where you are craving water. Mm-hmm. To the point where I think we need to really take in how unhealthy and the progression that Tammy has made.
Yeah.
To the point where she's like, I want water. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So many things she probably had to give up and things like that she probably, what's the word? She probably helped her cravings in so many unhealthy ways that she don't even understand that being thirsty, being dehydrated in certain ways is actually normal.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Now, Tammy, you might be pregnant. Mm-hmm. Go back to my point, right? She said, she even made a joke. She said, look, when me and Caleb was getting in, it was difficult. Mm-hmm. But when you put your mind to it, you can do it. I'm not handicapped. I'm handy capable.
Capable, yeah.
There we go. I almost forgot it. Right? I'm handy capable.
Yes.
No, you're handy nasty.
Okay.
Okay. That's disgusting. Continue.
Yeah. Well, Amy says, girl, you're not pregnant. You just thirsty.
Okay.
Drink some water. And the doctor explains to her, like, no, you're not pregnant.
No.
Because she hasn't had a period. If you don't have a period, you haven't ovulated, so you can't get pregnant. So she said the first step that we're going to do is to get this IUD out of you and try to get you healthy enough so you can start getting your periods again.
Now, question. Do you think Tammy is in a position now to have a baby?
No. I
even go deeper. Mm-hmm. Should she have a baby with Caleb? We're not going to break the fourth wall yet.
No.
Me neither.
Mm-hmm. Just in the situation with one, seeing how Tammy interacts with Amy's kids, like Tammy said, she can't get up and run around no kids. Mm-hmm. Two, she doesn't have the support or help of her husband because he's hours away at a facility. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's not helpful to not be able to have, your partner there to help raise your kids. So it's just not a good time. It's not a good time.
No, you're years away from it being a good time.
Yeah. Because
I'm not even going to get.
And I also,
go ahead.
You're not even in your own house.
Cut me off.
You're in your sister's house. Hopefully you can stay there as long as you want to. But
I thought Tammy was in her own house.
No, her house got robbed and stuff like that. So she's in her sister's house. So I don't know how long your sister's gonna let if she's gonna let you raise a family there. I don't know.
But that's not even the big issue to me.
What's that?
The big issue to me is you don't have an able-bodied husband or partner to impregnate you at the moment. Yeah. If you believe that we're not breaking the fourth wall here yet. If you believe that Caleb, just because he got the title husband, is able-bodied and capable and is an eligible person to procreate with, I have to question your mental. I have to question your mental, because when it comes to Caleb living for himself, so far in 5 episodes he failed.
Yeah, and
now to actually put the burden for him to live for his kids. He can't live for himself. Yeah. Okay, let's take himself out of it. He can't live for you because you've been out that rehab facility, and now you've been telling him, hey, I want to see you. You got to get better. Hurry up, get out. And when Dr. Smith weighed him, he gained weight. And he's like, well, I'm over here, I'm eating and I'm sad and I'm basically drowning my sadness with my food. No. You don't get those days off as a husband, as a father. Right. So I don't think she's in a position at this point of time in the episode to be thinking about having babies, or if she can procreate with Caleb. Caleb is not doing his thing individually.
Right.
Continue.
Well, Chris, he is taking Tammy to see Caleb.
Oh boy.
And Chris tells her, look, the conversation that you're going to have with Caleb is going to be hard.
It is.
So you need to try to stay as calm as you can.
Nice.
And we really don't know what Caleb's current health status is going into visiting him.
Yeah.
Amanda, Misty, and Amy are going to Amy's house, and she's going to pick up some more clothes for the boys. Michael moved in with his mom. Amy found her wedding dress, and she starts crying.
Come on, Amy.
She wants to burn the dress.
Well, go ahead, burn it. I don't care.
Amanda asks her, do you think you can see yourself living here with your boys, really making it a home? Amy says no, because I keep seeing that day in my head. And Amanda and Misty tell her you can rearrange furniture, you can paint, you can really create a whole new atmosphere for your home, for you and your boys. And they're telling her you should move back home and make it your own.
Listen here. Amy, first time to the house since the blow up. She goes there, and Michael's not even there.
Yep.
Just to find out Michael's living with his mama. I'm like, why are people leaving their houses?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Amy's not there. Michael, that it gives us a picture of where you at as a man. You get
to
what
me,
I'm saying?
it just seemed like he just needed to be taken care of at all times.
You get what I'm saying? So and my whole thing is, what is the excuse? It's not like it's too tiring. There's only you in that house. The kids is with Amy. Amy needs to grow up, and she needs to. You know how in a couple episodes ago we said that she needs to put the babies in daycare just so she can have time to herself? That needs to happen on top of other things.
Yeah.
I think she really do need to go see a doctor because I don't see how she can get herself out of this.
Right.
Even things in the sense of how her family is kind of, they worried about her, but they're letting her kind of man the ship, steer her.
Yeah, go at her own pace.
Yeah,
they're not trying to.
I think they need to step in. I think Amy's to the point where somebody needs to step in, and the same way as Amy's taking care of them kids and Tammy's helping taking care of them kids, somebody need to step in and take care of Amy. Because Amy is not in a good place to where she's seeing a wedding dress. She's talking about she don't want to live in the house. Property ain't easy to come by. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's things that somebody need to step in for Amy. As I'm sure Amy stepped in for Tammy a few times back in the day. But
and I feel like they are, but I feel like they can only do so much, especially with Amanda and Misty just having surgery. Yeah. You know, and Tammy not being fully mobile, and Chris, he's out here driving everybody everywhere. Because can't nobody drive. Yeah. So
that's understandable. Continue. Yeah.
Well, we get to the facility and Caleb and Tammy are there, and they are wheeling to each other in the hallway, and Caleb has flowers in his hands to give to Tammy.
Listen here, I know how much they try to make this a romantic thing to where she was wheeling in and she had a nice dress on for herself, but when he came around that corner in his motor wheelchair, whatever, with the flowers in his hands, I was like, come on. What are we doing here, Tammy? What did you get yourself into? Because I think what we're going to see in this scene is something that we kind of don't want to admit to ourselves, but I'm going to be the one to say it for all of us. I'm going to be the one to say it for you too, Blair. Okay. I'm going to say it for all of us. Continue.
Well, Caleb wants her to come weigh in with him, and he was 537. Okay. When he steps on the scale, he is 524.6. He lost weight, but he knows that he should be below 500 at this point per the doctor's recommendations.
Now help me understand this, Blair, as someone who watches this show and also someone who watches My 600-Pound Life. The last time he weighed himself, you said
6 weeks ago.
He said he was 537 6 weeks ago, and now he's 524. Is that a success that he lost 12 pounds, or is it basically neutral, or is it bad that he only lost that little?
It's a success. We're not going to say it's not a success, but it's not where he should be. If he was really on the program that he's on and doing everything he's supposed to be doing, he would have reached the goal that Dr. Smith set for him at this point. So that's why Tammy is saying, I'm trying to encourage him because he is losing, but clearly he's not doing all that he needs to be doing.
Yeah, and like you said, the doctor for My 600-Pound Life is Dr. Now.
Yeah. Dr.
Now would say it's a failure.
Dr. Now don't play.
I would say it's a failure because I'm not a doctor, so I'm gonna say what the doctor said. The doctor will say, because I saw a couple of my 600-pound.
Dr. Now he'll be like, what happened?
Yeah, he would say that, hey, you're big, you're obese, You should be at the point in your fitness to where you should be dropping weight.
Yeah.
And things like that just by walking. Just by not eating bad, you should be dropping weight because based on the stored up energy and things like that you have in your body. So I'm going to say what Dr. Now would say. Caleb, you failed, brother. You failed. And I think we are starting to unravel and see the type of person you are. And I think you are someone who like to talk a good game, but you're not really in the game.
Yeah.
You're not really in the game to win the game. You're not really in the game to compete. You're just like, hey, baby, come wait with me. Hey, baby, come see me.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, I want to travel and have the world with you. But really, you're not really about giving Tammy all those benefits. You're not even worried about giving yourself the benefits. Sure. You get what I'm saying? Continue, Blair.
Yeah. Well, they're back to his room, and she's asking him where is his dedication.
Where is that motivation, that dedication, that fire?
Right, because when she was in the facility, he seemed to have it more. He was going to the gym. He was, trying to eat on his program the way he's supposed to.
Okay.
He says that he still got it, and then Tammy says, "What is this?
What is this? Uh-oh, she found a condom.
Is it a scrunchie? Is it earrings? Is it somebody's jaws?
What have you been doing in that rehab facility, Caleb?
It's a basket of snacks.
Tasty cakes.
Cookies, cakes, candy.
Twinkies.
Caleb tries to tell us that he wanted it out in the open so, he wouldn't be hiding anything.
That's what I'm talking about. Stop right there. Caleb.
He's like, there ain't no way I could really spend this.
Stop. Caleb, respect the dead, okay? Listen here, Caleb. At that moment right there, and they was open too. You're an ish talker. I think I'm going to say something that everybody is thinking, but they don't want to say it. So I'm going to say it I'm going to take the arrows for everybody.
Okay.
I think, Caleb, you really had no intentions of getting better. I think you had intentions of getting married. That's why you probably, found out where Tammy was staying. You liked Tammy. You was like, oh, well, I don't really want to get better, but while I'm living, I want to be with this girl.
Yeah.
But what happened was you wanted to be an anchor in somebody else's life and drown them down with you.
Maybe he wanted to be on TV.
Maybe. But guess what? Or maybe maybe Tammy got some money. Maybe you needed some help financially. She could help pay for some things.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you thought you could be an anchor in somebody's life because you got to listen to what he says, because he says some things. I don't know if you got in your notes, but he says some things with like, how long you gonna deal with me? Because usually when you're dealing with somebody's weight, people only deal with you for so long.
Yeah.
And things like that. See, you thought that you had a little fat buddy with you that will stay with you and be fat with you forever, but you didn't know Tammy was really serious about getting better.
Maybe so.
You wasn't expecting Tammy to get up out of that rehab facility. And now that Tammy is out of that rehab facility, now you're back on step one. And that's being alone. And that is you focusing on your health.
Yeah. You
actually have to get yourself better more than depending on somebody else or basically trying to drag somebody else down. You get what I'm saying? Continue.
Well, Caleb says that it's easier to eat junk food than talk to Tammy because she's going through a lot and he doesn't want to be a burden to her.
What did that even mean?
He doesn't want to pile on her stuff. But the thing is, the fact that you're not home with her, the fact that you went out of your way to find her, marry her, and to be stuck in a position to where she's worrying about your health now. She didn't know you before. She would have been fine. But now she's over here thinking about you. Anyway, Tammy tells him that you have to start thinking about us coming home so we can actually be in us. And he's nervous that this is going to make her want to leave.
Yeah.
And Tammy says, food addiction is deadly and it's life or death.
It is.
And she says it to him. Like, this is not a game.
It's not a game, but it's to his point. He said, like, it's only a matter of time to where, like, somebody don't want to deal with this no more. And it gets me to the point where let's use Chris for an example. You use a small example or something as simple as him just driving everybody around.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It don't only affect your life, it affect your loved ones' lives as well. Especially with you being that unable to take care of yourself to the point where, hey, you're 6 days in the hospital because something may have happened, because now they talk about you may have pneumonia and things of that nature. It creates other issues when you're not there. And Blair said, like you said last episode, I think it was, you're playing with time. So you can even be doing the right thing, but because you're so unhealthy, you can potentially still hurt yourself and potentially, like, it could be the end of you. You get what I'm saying? Continue.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
What did you think of this episode?
I thought it was a good episode. I thought there was a lot of good content in there, as far as like Amy's divorce situation and her going back to the house, and even seeing how Tammy and Caleb are trying to work out their situation, and just seeing Chris continuing to do everything he can to get to his goals. I mean, getting a chicken coop so he can have fresh eggs, because you know how much he eat eggs and how much eggs cost. I'm just like, Chris's determination is awesome. So yeah,
I think we are starting to see cracks in Caleb and Tammy's marriage. I think we're gonna start seeing the behind the scenes of like them kind of like not like actually being on the same page.
But I honestly kind of feel like it was always there from the beginning.
How so?
Because I feel like this is how Caleb's always talked. Like, I love you, baby. I want to be with you. Will you marry me? You're so beautiful. And just really, saying all these, pleasantries to her, which I'm sure makes her feel really good. But he's saying all of this, but he's not talking about himself. He's not talking about what he plans on doing as far as like actual physical things to help Tammy. So, yeah, I feel like Tammy just got stuck in the fact that somebody really showed they wanted to marry her. And she was like, I never thought I'd get married before.
Exactly.
So let me just do it.
I got a question. Would this Tammy marry Caleb, or did he catch Tammy at a point where her self-esteem was below the dirt? Her you know what I mean?
I think
her whole view of life was so skewed to such a small view.
Yeah, he caught her at a low point, but even beyond a low point, I mean, she had almost died multiple times while being in this facility and trying to get healthy and having her trach and stuff like that. So her life was on the line, and the family, and she thought she was going to lose her life. And it had never been that, I don't think it's ever been that serious to her before. So the possibilities that Caleb brought to her as far as a husband and travel and kids, like, it was really something beyond what she could imagine. So I think she bought into his words.
And then, and I think that leads to my point. This Tammy would not have accepted that proposal from that Caleb.
I don't think so. No.
But this Tammy has to live with the consequences of last Tammy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, we're not breaking the fourth wall. But I'm just saying, like, that's just what happened. I think this Tammy, now that she's more focused, now she actually can walk, sit in a chair. You get what I'm saying? Go up a ramp. She wouldn't have accepted Caleb words of, hey, baby, I got flowers for you, baby. You know what I'm saying? I want to travel with you, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's just those things that it's just wordplay.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Anything else on this episode?
That's all I got.
Y'all be good.
Bye.